Hey guys, so today we're looking at this image of the character Feyre from the book series A Court of Thorns and Roses. She's being modeled by Macayla Radke. You can find her on Instagram. And Feyre, small spoilers if you haven't read the book series, by the way, maybe back out now or just skip this part. But Feyre is the High Lady of the Night Court, so the aesthetic to that is a lot of stardust, pixie dust, kind of like a real ethereal feel to it. So that's what we're aiming for with this. So moving into the editing, first thing you want to do is duplicate the background layer, and then we're moving into the liquify just to make some small adjustments to accent the curves of her body. Liquify you never really want to make major adjustments with. And then we're going to move into the dodging and burning. Dodging essentially means brightening, burning is darkening. With dodging, we're going to work mostly in the highlight layer, which you can change up in the top left toolbar. We're going to accent the highlights because we want it to look like she is just basking in sunlight and just has this glow about her. So for the burning, we're going to work in the shadow areas because we want to make it a little bit harsher of light. And we're doing it all over her entire body because it doesn't make sense that the sunlight's only going to hit her face. So make sure that you are constant in that. And now we're moving into the healing brush to make small adjustments. We're going to get rid of some of these flyaways because they did pick up on the natural sunlight and they create kind of a bright space that it pulls your eye to. So we want to make sure that we leave some of them though because, hair naturally has flyaways. So after this, we're going to check our before and after and make sure we didn't go too far. Scrap that channel mixer layer. We don't need it. And then we are going to move into a little bit of sharpening, and we are going to blur out the background. As you can see, we're getting rid of that kind of red distraction that was over there in that right corner. And now we're doing a shape blur on the background and using a layer mask to keep the detail on the model because we want to make sure that she is fully in focus. Now we're going to start creating that fake sun ray light or sunlight ray that I told you guys about. And these images that I'm pulling in to create kind of this whimsical look, they're all saved on my computer. I've got a desktop folder called Stock Images for Photoshop, and it's pretty well organized on the inside. You've got Magic Sparkles, which is where I'm pulling all these from. There's skies, fog, texture backgrounds, all sorts of things. I would highly suggest creating your own folder. Now we are going to be painting in with the brush tool with some white. We're going to blur out what we just painted and then do it on a soft light blend and take the opacity down to create our own highlights. And then we're going to start goldening up that sun ray there that we have made. And then I didn't really feel like it was blurred enough in the background, so this is a Gaussian layer blur that I put on it, and then I'm using a layer mask once again to bring the detail back into the model. I wanted it to have more of kind of like that fine art, really, really blurred out background look. Now we are moving into curves and then sharpening some of the details, bringing in a little bit more of the highlight. As you can see, I want her to really, really glow, almost look like she is a fairy. And then moving forward, we're going to make sure that the detail on the bottom, it's just as important as the detail on the top with all the sparkles that she's got going on. So we want to make sure that the eye goes to her whole body, not just her face. Now we're doing some little bit of color adjustments here. Everything that we do, even if it's small steps, is super important. Like the sharpening right here, it may seem like we're sharpening small areas, but those are the areas that you want the person's eye to go to when they view the image. So don't overlook those details. Now we lost a little bit of our contrast when we did our curves layer, so we're bringing that back in with some some gradient overlays, which is how we created the sunlight. And then we are doing a full sharpen and adding in a little bit of a bokeh effect. We're going to paint out some of the harshness of those circles. It's just a little bit too unrealistic. And then this purple layer gives it kind of an antique look. We're doing that on a light and blend mode. And that is about it. So now you've got your before and after of how we created this image of Feyre. Thanks for watching, guys.